Welcome to the Touching You Talk Show. My name is Lady T, aka Tielow Henson, and I will be your host today on the Touching You Talk Show. I would like to take the opportunity to thank Eldress Black for allowing us to be and use her platform today. So everybody give her a round of applause for letting us use this platform.
Hey.
Amazing ladies. But I most definitely want to thank you, Elder Black, for allowing us to use your platform today to host this show tonight. And if you're interested in being a guest or hosting a show, please contact Elder Sheila Black at touchingyoutalkshow@gmail.com. But we most definitely have a lot of amazing things about to happen. So open your ears, get your barrels ready. We're about to pour out a blessing and have a conversation about becoming. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dig in deep, and the six of us are gonna talk about what the journey is for becoming a woman. So hashtag becoming, feeding off the book from our first lady, Michelle Obama. Her talking about becoming is what it sparked from. So getting started, we're gonna dig right in. I want to introduce our guest panels here today that's going to have us have good conversation. First, in no order, we'll do it alphabetically. Cambry, introduce yourself to the people and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey everybody, my name is Cambry. Um, I'm a wife, a mom. Um, I've been in the beauty industry for about 16 years. Um, I love God. I love my family. I also dance and do a little this and a little that. I'm just thankful that I was invited to the conversation tonight. So I'm excited to dive in.
Amen. All right. Kiki, the
Hey.
wild card. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to us?
Well, I am Kiana or Kiki, and I am 23 years retired Army.
Mm-hmm.
And my lovely friend here, Miss Lady T, invited me on. Thank you for you. And thank you for all these young ladies. It's something about women getting together. You
Yeah.
create this power like a thunderbolt when women like us get together and we're able to talk
Yeah.
and bring forth information. But I'm excited to be here. I'm married. I have 4 kids now, 2 adult kids, and the younger tribe. I have a 15-year-old and a 9-year-old. So I'm happy to be here and
Oh
let's
yes.
do it.
All right. Next up, we have Shanita.
Hello, everyone. I am Shanita, a native of Birmingham, Alabama, and a
Hey.
graduate of University of Alabama Roll Tide. Woo!
Woo!
And I know my Roll Tide. I'm a graduate of University of Alabama, where I received 2 bachelors, and one is in arts, concentrated on dance, and the other one is in science, concentration on general studies. And I danced professionally for a short stint. I got injured. But then now what I do professionally is I'm in early education. It keeps me on my toes. I love it. And I love God. I love my family. I love my church. I'm a youth leader at my church. I'm known for being a praise dance instructor. I'm carrying the reins from Sister Cambry. That's my girl. So, I love dance. I love dance. I love being here in Texas. I love the family that God has given me here in Texas. But
Yeah.
Alabama true to the heart. Roll Tide.
All right. Next up, Miss Texana.
Hi everyone. I'm with Cambry. I'm just grateful to be here. When I received the invitation, I was like, "Me? You mean like another Texana?" But I don't think she's met another Texana. This is Evergreen. You say hi.
Hey, baby girl.
This is my only kiddo, so I'm a mom as well. I'm a single mom of one. And let me tell you, it's enough. So hearing y'all say 4 and more, because I know Tylo has more. Oh, this is funny. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm a single mom of one. I'm also in the military, and I attended the Texas Southern University. Go Tigers! Yes. I
Okay.
am not using my political science degree right now, but it's fine. I'm trying to figure it out. But we'll talk about that in our
Yeah.
conversations and how that all ties into me navigating and becoming at this point. But yeah, I'm so excited to
Yeah.
be here.
Yeah. 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 All right. And last but most definitely not least, she told me don't
Boy,
say it out loud, but I got the little firecracker herself, the one and only Yura. Come and introduce yourself to us.
I think you did it already. Like that was enough. That was enough. No, my name is Yura. As she said, I am a little firecracker. That's just me. I don't take that. You're not gonna talk to my folks crazy. We're not doing that. But as she
Yeah.
said, I do love hard. I love Cam, Shanita, Eldress Henson. Because I'm not
Love
gonna get
you
me
back.
in trouble. Okay.
Love you
But
back.
That's
I
I
right.
love
love
you
all
back.
y'all. I love my church. I work in the health field. And I'm glad to be here.
All right, ladies. Well, I guess we're gonna dig right in, and I'm gonna go in that same order with our first question. Since we're already here, we're gonna dive right in. Cambry, what does becoming mean to you when you think about the word becoming? What does it mean
Be-
to you?
becoming. Um, so right now, I would say I'm in an enlightenment stage of my life. Um, 35th birthday came and the light bulb turned on. Um, so becoming is something new to me.
Okay.
Becoming is embracing the things you have because God already equips us with what we need, right? So
Yeah,
becoming
yeah.
is just embracing what God has given you. That's what becoming means to me.
It, embracing what God has for you. All right, Miss Kiana, becoming. What is that? What does that put you in the mindset of? What does that mean to you?
Well,
When somebody says, I'm
becoming,
becoming.
when I turned 46, which was in June
Okay.
21st, I realized that when you get to a certain age, everybody's not going to like you. Everybody's
Oh
not going to
yeah. Come on.
always like your decisions.
Mhm.
Everybody, some
Mm,
people are going to talk about you when you change careers. Can she be an entrepreneur? Can she do that? Can she become a
yeah,
DJ? No. And fighting those things, fighting for yourself, to me is becoming, being your own advocate. Like, no,
Yeah.
I
yes.
love
I can
that.
do
Your
this.
own
What are you
advocate. I
talking
love that.
about?
Yeah,
I'm a 46-year-old
yeah,
DJ. I forgot to
I
mention that
love
earlier.
that.
But I can do that. I'm getting ready to, while I'm not doing DJing, I'm getting ready to go to barber school. And people's like, well, isn't she a DJ? She going to barber school? She likes to still sell clothes. Like, God has given us all of these gifts,
Many
but because
talents,
they won't
yes.
see it come out like everybody else's, it means that, oh, she's just this, or she can't keep a one track mind. I'm not saying that people aren't supposed to do one thing at a time, but becoming means that the naysayers, the haters, you have to learn to shake them off.
All
And to
right.
me, that's a
that's
lot when
good.
you're on this,
That's
especially
good.
when you're going from your 20s to your 30s to your 40s. And it
Yeah.
could be people that's even close to you that's like looking on the outside, like you're living their dreams, but you don't know that. And so sometimes
Mhm.
they become haters. So to me,
I like that you're
becoming,
living their dreams.
yeah, you're living the dream. Oh, she wants to do this, she wants to do that, while the person is still doing the same job for 30 years,
And you bold enough to do it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Exactly.
That's right.
Mm,
Exactly.
mm,
Yes.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'm
mm.
trying to fight. I'm trying
Good.
to be like you.
Mm.
I'm trying to fight and be my own advocate.
I love
Listen,
Yes, yes.
becoming being your advocate. I
Being your
love that.
own advocate. I love it. From being a barber to a DJ, being a
Yeah.
woman, having a husband to even having your own boutique. I love it. Advocating for yourself at any
Yeah.
age. All right, Miss Shanita,
Oh my
what does
goodness.
becoming
I'm
mean
feeling
to
all
you when
inspired.
you?
I like that advocate. God does give you many gifts, Sister Kiki. He really does. I want to say becoming to me is like it's mental, it's psychological, it's spiritual. For me,
Okay.
it was a transformation of mindset, being open to different perspectives instead of being just tunnel vision. Because when you're
Mm.
open to different perspectives, because God gives you different gifts to do different things. Like I'm kind of like Kiki. I dance, I teach, I'd have been a hostess, I'd have been a I've done a lot of things. I can draw,
Yeah.
I can do art, I can act. And I want to endeavor in all of it. So I think the spark of becoming for me was God guiding me in the aspect of using all those gifts. It's not, He gave me those gifts for a reason. So just
Mhm.
becoming for me
Exactly.
is just the transformation of mindset, the transformation of way of what I'm doing with what is given to me.
Mhm.
Amen.
Got it. Oh yeah. Okay, Texana, what's your LT? One each.
Okay,
You
y'all.
know I'm
Hey,
trying to
don't call
do.
me out like that.
Hey, LT.
But amen. That was a struggle. It was a struggle getting that bar. Okay, y'all. I think that mine is it's the
Yeah.
opposite, especially of what Miss Kiana was saying. I think that mine becoming, at least in this season, and probably the next, is more so of me being still and
Mm,
not
Go there.
trying
Okay.
to
that's good.
put so much focus in other areas. And so what that looks like for me is God is like, hey, I have you here for this reason. Or, the
Yeah.
universe, just or
Yeah.
whatever it is, my goals that I've written
Uh,
down on paper. But because I am impatient and I'm like, this goal isn't going fast enough, I'm not getting here, or this isn't moving, and I need this piece to
that's
move.
good.
So then I start putting my hands in everything else,
Mhm.
picking up different
Mm,
hobbies, trying
mm,
to find just to feel that like something is happening. And for
yeah.
me, my father is like, I am still moving, I'm still working. And so it's more so of being
Be
still. And
still.
then, like Miss Cambry
Mhm.
said, like embracing where you are right now.
Mhm.
And whew, I would be lying if I said that it is easy. It is not, but it's been great. I've
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
seen the manifestation of the waiting and like just being still and just trusting. But yes, for me right now, that is what becoming is looking like. It's a struggle
Yeah.
becoming,
Yeah.
but it's still becoming. It's fine.
But I
Mhm.
love that.
The
I love that.
process.
Trust
Yes,
the
the
process.
The
There you
process.
go.
Process.
process. Trust
We
it.
have to
Hmm.
be still.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to be still. Ooh, that waiting process. Yeah, that's a part
That's
of it.
tough.
All
Yeah.
right, Miss Euro
All
becoming
right.
for you. What does that mean?
For me, I think it's allowing yourself to mature into the person God wants you to be without being in a
Mm,
hurry to get there.
Mhm.
Because I
Mm.
that's
think
good.
that most of the time, we feel as if we have to be in a certain spot at a certain age, and it's not like that for everybody.
So
Right.
true. That's
Everyone's
good.
Mm,
destination is different, and how we get there is different. So I think
Yeah.
we have to allow ourselves to be able to mature into that person. And for everybody, it's different because it might take some time to get there. So that's what
I
that
love it.
means to me.
Mm.
Self-assessment. We gotta assess ourselves.
Okay.
That's a man. All
That's
of that
good.
good stuff. All right, moving on right along. This is good. What, Cambry? What or who has shaped you into becoming the you that you are today? What or who, and what has been your process?
Um,
What or who?
what or who? So I'll start with who. Um, so my grandmother raised me, thank God. Um,
Hmm.
Looking back on our relationship, the things she would implement, she was very strict, very stern about certain things. And as a kid, I didn't get it. I didn't understand. I just thought
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
being mean, you know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
now that I'm a mom, I appreciate those lessons that she put into me. Don't be so quick to make decisions. Think about things all
Yeah.
the way through. Go to God in prayer.
Yeah.
Those were
Yeah.
just some of the things that she taught me. And uh, going to church all the time, doing things for the community. That was something that
Mm,
she instilled in me. So that's who. And then what? I would say being a wife has shaped me. Um,
okay.
Learning to work together with my husband. Um, that has really matured me in a way that I never thought. My husband and I, we got married really young. Um, And so, when you're young, you think you know everything, but learning to
Hmm.
work together and love together and build together, um, I want to say that has contributed to me becoming a woman that God has called me to be.
Okay. Okay.
That's
Miss
good.
Kenyana. Let's talk about it. What or who? That's really good. What or who has shaped you in becoming the you are today? Um, and what does that process look like for you through your journey?
I feel like Uncle Sam. I feel like the army. I
Okay,
have to. I'm telling you, like, I joined when I was 17. I
resiliency.
was a baby. You know, I
Mm-hmm.
joined when I was 17. And when you're in the army, you don't think that you're getting taught certain things until you get out. Until you get all the way out, you're like, I learned this and I learned that. Like, I learned tenacity. I learned how to do things. Like, if I'm tired, it doesn't matter. If people around me are asleep, I'm up getting it done. I mean, it even works in
Yeah,
motherhood. It even works as a spouse. It even works when you're like when you're working on a new job and you don't really know. So you got to be up at like 4 o'clock in the morning reading or
yeah,
learning things or reading the correspondence and stuff like that. And I learned that through the army. You know, the army taught me so many things. And that's what I feel like that's what made me the Kiana who I am today when I'm able to go out like recruiting. You know, we had to go out and talk to different people and it didn't matter who, the race, the sex, whoever the person was, we had to learn how to, you know, man up, talk to those people, have good conversations
yeah,
with parents and stuff like that. So to me, I have to give it to Uncle Sam as far as what shaped me to be who I am
yeah.
today. Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's
And as
good.
far
That's
as the
good.
who, as far as the who, I want to say my older children, like I have a 27-year-old, my oldest daughter is 27. And so to hear her kind of give me shout outs like, Mom, you're the one who taught me this, or you're the one who taught me, you know,
Oh,
make sure you pay your rent before you pay anything else type thing.
mm,
There were certain
that
things that I instilled in them that they come back and they remind me over and over. So it's
Mm,
probably my oldest children, the adult children really let me know, you know, if I'm on the right path or not. Yeah.
that's good. That's good. That's good. Shanita, what or
yes.
who shaped you in becoming the you that you are? And what does
I
that process look like?
actually, I'm gonna start with I'm gonna say who most definitely my mom and dad. My mom and dad. You know, everyone's household is not perfect, but my mom and dad, like I didn't want to do the most traditional things of a kid. Like I want to do ballet, tap, and jazz. I don't want to play football. I don't want to play volleyball.
Sure.
And they supported it like at the point of just making sacrifices. Like sacrifices for my baby wanted to be a ballerina, my baby wanted to dance and just I didn't
Yeah.
really see it that much, but they saw the passion within me and just the sacrifices that they were willing to take. Like so basically I always wanted to be an artist. My dad's in medicine, my sister's a nurse. You know, they're the
Yeah.
traditional fields, and it's a little more
Yeah.
successful, you know, than what I chose, but I was ready to go through the trenches with dance. So I gotta say, they always encouraged me. I went to auditions, didn't get it. They told me what I needed to work on. They helped me get in some extra classes. You know, they
Okay.
taught me how to deal with defeat and disappointment. And I
Mhm.
think
Mhm.
that's where my tenacity comes from because like, okay, my mom would be like, okay, you didn't make it, so okay, so we just need to work on this. We need to work, we gonna fix your hair a little different, you know, get you some lashes on, get your look together, you know. Like they always were like, okay, the cup is half full. And my dad's a big advocate of the cup is never half empty, it's half full. So I gotta be honest, my mom and dad, they believed in everything. Like Shanita's the best. Shanita's well, they
Yeah.
didn't
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
that, but that's how they made me
Good.
feel. And I'm gonna
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
what took me into becoming, I'm gonna say my move to Texas. Like my move, like I wasn't guaranteed this salary dance position. And you know, it was I was dancing with a professional company, but I didn't research enough to really realize, okay, I don't have insurance, I don't have 401k. The position I carry may make me have to get a second or third job, which I did. But I was
Yeah. Yeah.
determined. I was determined. And you
Yeah.
know, my parents' work ethic is like that as well. Like I saw my dad get up every day at 4 o'clock, come home and
Mhm.
come take me to dance practice and come record me. Like I feel like the star, you know. And so to be
Yeah.
honest, my move was what had shaped me because I ran into a lot of things because um I was so focused I didn't realize when I got injured, what are you gonna do? Because like I said, I danced for a short stint, but I got injured. So becoming was okay, let me hone in to these other skills that my dad had been trying to get me to use. I love dance, but my daddy's like, you're smart, baby. You know how to do math. You're smart, baby. You can
Yeah.
teach. You can
Yeah.
do this. And I'm like, I don't care, daddy. Like, I want to dance.
Yeah.
But I want to, and he supported it. And I guess because I was so passionate about it. And I didn't really compromise my integrity. I just had to do what I had to do. So I want to say my move to Texas because I have no family here. I'm here alone. Y'all, my
Yeah.
family. I'm telling
We
you,
are.
I'm here alone. Hopefully, my daddy on
We
tonight.
are.
Daddy,
We
this is
are.
my family.
He is. I see Mr. Tommy Mahone on. Mr.
All
Tommy,
right.
shout out. We love you. Taking good care of your baby from Alabama, way to Texas. He's home. All right. All right, Miss Texana,
Okay,
one
y'all.
each. Let's talk about it. What or who has shaped
Every
you
time
in
you say my
becoming the
name, she's
you?
coming into the camera. Okay, so a big, like many of you, like my mom for sure, my mom and my grandmother. Yes, my mom and my grandmother, but without going into these, because, well, my mom taught me a lot of the resiliency and a couple other things, like just strengths that I have. Um, and I just see myself in her so much, but I also learned a lot about who I don't want to be
Mm.
Okay.
from
Okay.
watching
Mm.
my parents.
Don't
And
Big
I
want to.
don't
word.
mean that disrespectfully. I
Mm.
mean that in that just certain struggles that I saw them have to endure, whether
That's
it was
good.
like mistakes or just this is like a lot of times it wasn't like the life that they chose for themselves. It's like this is what's handed to you, and then you're trying to make the best of it, especially when you're trying to raise children. And so I learned a lot about. We were talking about standing up for ourselves, advocating for ourselves, not just accepting certain things. And my parents and my grand, actually three generations, my parents, my grandmother, who I'm still very close with, she's lived with me in my adult life. And then my great grandmother, I hope this isn't too deep, but when you think about girls, turn that off, please. When you think about segregation and integration and things that we just really had to live through and endure and try to like make work. Like so through the generations, I was like, you know what? No, advocate for yourself. You don't have to accept certain things or anything that you don't
Yeah.
want for yourself. And also just because
Yeah.
this is how it's been does not mean that this is how it has to be. So like that
That's good.
circular reasoning where it's I went through it and I turned out okay. Or my parents didn't provide that for me, and so I'm not going to do that because I turned out okay when my parents didn't do that, whether that's, being emotionally available or, my parents didn't take me to church, just things like that. Or my parents took me to church, not turn, and vice versa. And so realizing that, you know what, I don't have to fit the mold or the narrative
Yeah.
of my parents' story and their
Yeah.
experiences. And not that there's nothing that I can't take from it, but I
Yeah.
think the biggest take is that
That's good.
especially with generational curses, y'all. I'm
Ooh.
like,
Yeah.
Come on,
no,
talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
go ahead,
I
Break
bro.
the
Go
don't
ahead.
music.
have
Break
Let's
to
the
go there.
accept
curse.
it.
Yep.
That's
This is
it.
not who I
That's
am.
it.
I think
That's
we
it
start
right
off
there.
with saying, this is who I am. At least I did. I
Hmm.
would say, well, this is who I am. And
Yeah.
now I'm just trying to undo that. And I'm like, no, this is not who you
Yeah.
are. But this is something that has, latched onto you, or people are trying to allow it to be who you are. They're trying to make it be who you are. And then now you're believing them. But it's
Labeling
like, no,
you,
what does
and it's
God have
not.
to say about that?
What does God
And
have to
so
say? That's
literally,
good.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's literally scratching it and saying, you might not know like what
Yeah.
you want in a partner, but or like in a job or in a career, but you know what you don't want.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
where you
There you
start.
go.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
So that's been my
Becoming.
experience. And
Becoming.
so I'm 29, I'll be 30 in November, and that has really been my reflection like this last year of being 29 where and it's clicking. It's like those aha moments for me where I'm
Mm,
like, this is not what you want. So I'm not married.
mm,
Even like with dating, I'm like, ooh, this is not what you want.
good.
This is not what you want.
What
And
you
that's
want?
okay. You don't
That's
necessarily know
good.
what you want,
That's
but you know
good
what
that
you
you
don't
know
want.
that.
Whew. And
Know
so
what you don't want.
You're
I just went off on a
sifting. You're
tangent. I hope
sifting.
that
You're
even answered
sifting.
the question.
That's good.
But
No, that has been that's shaping us.
That's
yeah.
That's
good.
becoming.
And
That's a
so
good one. Know
That's
what you
that's
good.
don't
been like
want.
kind of
That's
driving me.
good.
That's been driving
Yeah.
me.
Ooh,
And then
preach.
too, I'll say this and then I'll pass the mic. With being a mom now, it's and like yeah, just being a parent in general, where I'm like, you don't have to do one moment, honey. You don't have to parent this way or even be this way. You don't only have to be a mom, right? You can also be a soldier. You can be
Yeah,
a leader in the military, you know.
Yeah.
I want to go to law school. So it's like you can be a lawyer and be a mom, you know, wear multiple
yes,
hats.
Mm-hmm.
Not that my mom did not wear multiple hats, but it was more so of like your primary focus is being a mom. And it's like, no, it
I
doesn't
can do
have
it
to be
all.
it. Right. I can do it all and my focus can be everything. That kind of goes against what I told y'all before with like being still, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. It's not
Yeah.
limiting
Yes,
myself to roles that either the past generations have placed or what society has to say or like
Mm,
the different subgroups that I belong
good.
to, like I'm a woman or I'm black. And so you have to be this way or you have to talk this way or you attend church and so then this is what your walk with Christ has to look like not limiting yourself based on like where you know the different groups that you belong to or I'm in the military so you have to look this way because you're a black woman and it's like no, let me show you how this is done. So yeah.
That's right.
Becoming but not losing
That's good.
yourself.
Yes.
That's good.
you learned that
That's
early.
good.
Becoming but
You
not
learned that
Yes.
losing
Ooh,
early.
yourself.
Yes.
yeah, my camera
Good.
fell.
That's good.
What did
No.
it say?
That's
Thank
good.
y'all. I'm gonna pass the
Okay,
mic.
we back with you. All right, Yura. All right, Yura.
Ooh.
What or who has shaped you into becoming the you that you are today?
Um, ooh, that's a lot. Because my who isn't just one person in particular. It
It's
started
a
with my
village.
great grandmother. Yes, it's a whole village from my family to my church family. But it started with my great grandmother, my grandmother, my auntie. I love her to death. That is literally my ride or die. She might not be young, but I love her. She knows it. My unofficial mom is what I call her.
Mhm.
Um, because she pretty much raised me. She was 11 when me and my brother got here. So that's
Mm,
so my family and then my church family for sure. Because I think Cam and I talked about this a few weeks ago. I think we was in Houston that growing up in church, I thought that everybody went to church like us. With no lie, we had Sunday school, we had 11 o'clock service, we had YPU, we had choir rehearsal, Bible study, we had all of that. It wasn't until I got older that I realized that everybody didn't grow up like us. And I'm so
yeah,
grateful that I had that experience because then I wouldn't be here today. My what isn't just one thing, my what is my life experiences so far
So
because
far. I like that.
yeah.
so far because it doesn't stop here because I'm still maturing into the person God wants me to be.
That's
So my
right.
Become.
That's right.
Becoming.
what isn't just one thing and my who just isn't just one person.
That's good.
I
That's good.
love
That's good.
that.
I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said, and I'm gonna say it like this: becoming. I think this about the process never stops. I think we never arrive. I believe a lot of us have this mindset as we are young that I got to get to this end point. This is the
Yeah.
start line, and this is the finish line. And actually, in life, there is no finish line. You're
Mhm.
constantly becoming. Constantly you're constantly becoming. So right on point. I think we have to change the mindset that I have to be this person that has already arrived. Do we have accomplishments around along the way? Absolutely.
Yeah.
um,
Absolutely.
I think it was years ago when Shanita first came to Texas and we met each other. And one of the conversations that I would have with her, and correct me if I'm wrong because my mind is, I'm getting older. Um, one of
You
the things
getting
I would tell her
seasoned.
is after my goal in life for the past 20 years is to constantly reinvent myself. Um, and
Yes.
that's a part of the becoming process. I think that's a conversation we had probably 15
Yes.
years ago. And I still
Oh
stay
my
true to
goodness,
that
it's been a
today.
while. You right.
It's been a
You
while.
right.
But I think the becoming is important in the lives of not only us as women, but as a people, as a culture,
Yeah.
that we don't have to arrive. We are constantly making those adjustments and improving. Proving life is happening. And we just have to keep on evolving and recreating ourselves, and being an advocate for ourselves and know when to
Being an
rest and
advocate.
know just all those things. So I love that you said that I'm still becoming that person, right? Through my experiences in life. I'm mature. And speaking about maturity, let's change subjects real quick, kind of on the same line, and let's talk about um, emotional maturity. Emotional maturity.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a part of becoming, right?
Yes, it is.
That's a part of becoming. Emotional security, starting with Cambry. We often miss out on a lot of opportunities based on how we react, right? So my question is this: what role has self accountability played in your life, and when did you realize it?
Okay. Self accountability. So I'm gonna say, like, I'm a person, I like to do a lot of things. It's hard for me to tell people no. So I would say yes to all the things, and then I have everything on my plate, and then something would fall because
Okay.
it's just right. It's just me. You want to do everything, but you really can't. And
Okay.
in those times, I would make excuses like, oh, well, I couldn't do this because of da 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 da. Or, and like I said, between 30 and 35, this has really been a period of enlightenment for me. Um, just understanding that I have to be responsible for me. And when things don't go the way I plan or the way I think they should turn out, I can't blame other people.
Okay.
And when it doesn't go the way I want, I have to be okay with it.
Yeah.
Um, and that hasn't always been easy for me,
Okay.
especially because I was always used to getting my way,
Okay.
and I
Transparent.
like that. I
Absolutely.
like that. But I would say growing up and just realizing that everything has a time, everything has a place. And just being real you have to be honest with yourself about your
Yeah.
abilities, the things you can do, and the things you can do for others. And I want to say it wasn't easy getting to this place because I grew up, wanting to make sure everybody was happy. And when you're becoming, that's not possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. It's
All
not.
right. Kiana, we missed out on a lot of opportunities based off of our reaction, how we react. Same question: what role has self accountability played in your life, and when did you realize it?
I'm still working on it. I'm still working
Transparency.
on,
Transparency.
yeah, I'm still working on when things don't go my way, how I react. I'm still, even at 46, some things come with disappointment, when promises are broken or deadlines aren't met, or, you know, you told me you was going to be in this state and with me on this date, and what happened, disappointment, it's horrible. Nobody
Yeah.
wants to be disappointed,
That's
and
yeah.
you have to be okay with it. You have to, even no
Yeah.
matter how somebody has disappointed you, let you down, didn't come through, you have to be all right with it. You can't force things. And I'm again, I'm saying the things that I need to hear. I'm saying
Amen.
the
Yeah.
things that I
Yeah.
need to hear, but
Yeah.
I'm still very much working on that because I'm so passionate and I'm always there for
Hmm.
people. And
Hmm.
it's like, it seems like the people that you're mostly there for sometimes are the people that let you down the most. Because it's like, man, I did that. I was there for her podcast and she couldn't do this for me. But I
Yeah.
was there and doing this
Yeah.
and said
Yeah.
she wanted me to do this and they
Yeah.
can't. And in that
Yeah.
moment, you have to be like, okay, that's fine. The world is not coming to an end, Kiana.
Yeah.
It's going to be okay. So I'm still trying to let those things in therapy. is helping me.
Come
I'm
on.
just saying.
Come on,
That's
therapy, because we
good.
sure
I
don't
have a
like to
whole
go there.
therapist
Therapy is
Come
good.
on.
Yes.
on
That's
the
good.
That's
hotline.
good.
Girl, they won't do it. I'm mad. Help me work through
Yeah.
it. So I'm still working on it.
Working on
Lord,
me. Self
pray for me, y'all.
accountability.
Put me in the prayer box, please.
I got you.
Will
I
do.
got you. Yes.
Yes,
Oh
self
my goodness.
accountability. Miss Shanita, let's talk about emotional maturity. We miss out on a lot of opportunities based on how we react.
So
What role
true.
has self accountability played in your life, and when did you realize it?
I would have to say self accountability excuse me, self accountability for me, where I've had to mature in and I'm still maturing in and becoming in, is relationships, period. Like relationships with my family, relationships that are personal with like a marriage or whatever. Because like I remember when you said previously earlier, when you were like, the standard needs to be here, here, and here. I got goals to be here, here, and here. We're trying to break generational curses here, here, and here. Like I would not like talk to my family if I'm doing not so great. Like I would not, and they wouldn't understand. And to be honest, they still don't understand to this day. And that made me realize, Shania, that's crazy. Cause they love you anyway. And they could have
Wow.
had some words for you. They could have some, they could have came out to see you. But since it was my choice to, move all the way out here, and it's not the
Yeah.
most traditional life, the most traditional
Yeah.
lifestyle. And it was just, I don't know if it was pride. I don't know if it was just pride by to with it as well, but like just relationships, emotional maturity, being open and transparent enough. Like I'm just now telling my dad these thoughts because like okay, since I've been in Texas, my mother has passed, my grandmother has passed, my uncle has passed, and all the whole time I've been here, I wanted to achieve this, and this so that I could invite them to come or but people are passing. So my emotional maturity is keep connected.
That's
Stay
good, Shanita.
connected. Family is everything. Like I'm
Mhm.
telling you, I'm telling you, if something happened to my daddy today, I think I wouldn't be able to breathe,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
but at the same time, I'm so glad I still have to do better.
Yeah.
I'm still working on it. Becoming, daddy, I'm doing better. But I'm still working on it. Becoming, but it's just sometimes even just talking to him, my daddy got his cliches, the God give you these talents, glass half full, and sometimes I'd be like, but I need to hear it, I need to hear it. And I want
Yeah.
everything to be perfect, and
Yeah.
also with relationships, like what I've learned is even my interactions at work, at church, sometimes people are a certain way with me, and my thing is I take it so personal, not realizing what they're going through. That's why becoming for me is really big on perspective and
Mhm.
transformation of mindset, because
Mhm.
like Shanita's been through a few things, so she be ready to throw down, and
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
go
Yeah.
on.
That's real.
and
Yeah.
and it's amazing how like I'm really close to people now that I could not, like, she don't know me, she don't know me,
You
or
right.
they don't know me, they got the wrong one. I'm from Alabama, I'm Tommy daughter, like that's how I felt,
Emotional.
y'all don't know
Yes.
me, where I come from,
Emotional maturity.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, so with relationships, yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. You're emotional maturity. We most definitely missed out on a lot of opportunities based off of how we react. So, same question: what role has self accountability played in your life, and when did you realize it?
Cool. Let's see. I think my biggest thing is one, I show everything on my face, how I feel. I'm going to tell you
You
how I
do.
feel.
I love your face.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you how I feel, regardless of how you feel or how you take it. I'm going to tell you.
You do.
But then I also had to learn that I can't be like that with everybody because one, not everybody doesn't know me like that. So when I pop off at you or when I say something, it might seem like I have an attitude, but I don't have an attitude all the time. But that's just how I talk. But then I also have to realize like everyone's not like that, you know.
Correct.
You know,
Mm,
I
Yeah.
can't be like, oh well, you're gonna do it like this, and you just gonna that's how you. Okay, you don't want to do it like that, then I will go do something else.
good. That's
There you
good.
go.
That's good. Come on,
Just
That's
let's be
good.
go
honest.
on about
Some
Let's be
go
firecrackers.
on
honest.
about your business. You don't want to do it like that, okay, bye. But
Yeah,
that's
but
also kind of how I was brought up. Like, okay, you're gonna do it like this, then you just do it like that. But everyone's not like that, so I have to realize that I have to be a little softer with some people sometimes. I'm
yeah,
working on it. I'm working on it. It's
working
not
on
an
you
easy
smoothing the
process.
edges. You smoothing
A
Well,
the
little
you got
edges.
bit,
to exercise
a
that
little
Child.
bit,
muscle.
a
Exercise
little,
that
Okay.
muscle. You got to
Okay.
polish
a
that
little
Okay.
muscle so
bit.
you can get better.
Listen, but don't come at my people wrong though. Listen,
Oh Lord, the
I
firecracker.
know. I like you having my back. You be having my
I
back. I
love it.
like
I
it.
love it. I
I
love
like
it. I
that. I
love it.
like that.
And do.
listen.
Yes.
You're gonna
I
have everybody back. You said what now? To who? Yeah, not
oh,
today. But it's all
okay.
love. It really is all love though.
Exactly. And we all love you, but yeah, I'm glad. You know what? I'm glad everybody we have our experiences in how we deal with um emotional maturity. From what used to like that, I take you from 0 to 1,000
Quick.
then, but now I can kind of okay. We're gonna take I can take a different route today.
Yeah.
Um, I could take a different route, or the on the other side of that coin is I no longer blame others
Yeah.
Mhm.
when it's really me.
No
Right.
longer blaming others when it's
Oh
really
yeah,
you.
That's
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 self
right.
good.
accountability, right?
Yeah,
Accountability.
My mouth, my
Accountability.
attitude, I pop off. I'm still from the hurt from yesterday. You should have did, but I have to be accountable to my. That's that
Yes.
self
yeah.
accountability. I can no longer blame other people. Which segues us. This will segue us into the next question. Going with Cambry. This statement here, I've said this statement before for all of you that have been on the our women's call on Zoom. This statement, what are your thoughts to the following statement? Your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Mm.
Um,
Woo.
Differently do you deal with trauma,
Woo.
adversity in,
Woo.
in your journey of becoming? So I'm gonna say it again. So the question is kind of a two-way question. How differently do you deal with your trauma and adversity as you're going through your journey with becoming? And
Mhm.
what are your thoughts? Let's go with this one. What are your thoughts to the following statement? Your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Responsibility.
Okay. So I'll start with um in for some reason I think this is where a lot of my trauma started. Um
Okay.
like I said before, my grandmother raised me. Um
Okay.
I knew my parents. Um so going into the new phase of becoming a mom, becoming a wife, there was some unhealed hurt there.
Okay.
And um almost some form of like, well, what was it about me that wasn't good enough for y'all to want to be there for me? So then
Okay.
the way that I thought I was healing in a healthy way, um being like a helicopter mom, always trying to, protect my kids from, just little bitty things. And that's not number one, is not healthy.
It's not
And
healthy.
that is what kind of pushed me into therapy. My therapist told me, and I think at the time, this was probably in maybe 2018, 2019. So I mean, it's fairly recent. Um, she was like, Cambry, that's not realistic. You have 4 kids. And
Yeah.
at the time they
Yeah.
were all, they were still young. So you can't do everything for them. You can't be everywhere for them. Like, that's not real. You're going to make yourself crazy. You're going to stress yourself out. So the steps is I had to literally unpack that stuff. It wasn't that I wasn't worthy or that God didn't love me or he didn't care about me. So dealing with the with that, with having to say, you are worthy, you are
Yeah.
enough, God loves you no matter where you came from. He still created an environment for me to thrive in and to become. So I think the way to heal is you just have to be honest about the situation.
Yeah.
Transparent.
Where you were created, or how you came to be is not where you have to end up. And my trauma, my hurt, I don't have to force that on my kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
You love
That's
them
That's
through that.
that's good. That's good.
that's good.
That right
That's
there.
good. All right, Kiki. We going deep. We going deep.
Y'all going deep, deep
We
down
going
in
real
the
deep.
depths.
Let's be transparent. Hot,
Mm,
open, and trans. Let's do
okay.
it. What with this? One of the a statement I often make to women, and men the same, but mostly women when I speak to them is. So, what are your thoughts on the following statement? Your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. And how have you differently dealt with trauma and adversity in your journey?
Well, you
Heavy.
can't go through life. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, I realize it's heavy. Let's go. Let's talk about it.
It
Yeah.
is heavy.
In becoming, living every day, you're gonna have some type of trauma. You can't get out. You can't check out without having some type of toxic trauma, you know. And when
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, I thought it was the other person's responsibility to come to me and apologize. I was
Mhm.
always like waiting on an apology.
And sometimes
And
you're not gonna get that apology you
you're
want.
not gonna get
You're not.
it.
I
And the
learned
thing
it.
is,
I learned it.
the
Oh,
bigger the trauma, I'm expecting a band of apology. I'm expecting,
Okay.
dude,
Ba, ba, ba,
I'm
na,
sorry.
na.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
I know.
sorry.
Uh,
And I'm still sitting around and you're festering, you're boiling. Every time
Mhm.
you might see the person or the people, you're boiling. And they just as happy, not trying to
they
give
rent
you
space
peace.
in your aura.
I'm just waiting and you're not going to get it most of the time because people, it's hard for people to deal with to deal with the fact that they're in charge of your trauma or that they did something to you. And
mm,
so people do avoiding. In my family, I call it the sweep it under the carpet. I come from
yeah,
the sweep it all under the carpet. Any carpet will do. Any carpet, no matter how small, we sweep all the
or
problems
how
under the
Sleep,
thin.
carpet.
Yeah,
sleep, sleep,
yeah,
sleep,
yeah.
sleep.
Right. But I've learned through therapy, especially with my children, I don't care how bad it is, what it is that I have to come out. We have these talks, and I'm like quick to apologize and let them know. But as far as with me, I have to understand that Pete, you're not going to get it. At least I
Mm,
haven't gotten those big apologies that I feel like I deserve. And through lots of therapy, um, I've learned how to be okay with that. I've
yeah,
learned how to be okay with that. And I've also learned how to be okay with these people don't just because these people have hurt me. That doesn't mean I have to be their best friend, but it does mean that I have to let it go. I have to let go of that weight.
absolutely,
But
absolutely.
I don't have to be chummy. I don't have to be, I don't have to be up in your face. I am a forgiver now,
That's
and
good.
and some of the trauma that you go through, you think that you can never forgive these people. You think you can never ever forgive because it's too hard. But you have to. And I tell my kids that, because even kids or your other
You have
family
to
members
forgive
have
for
a
you.
tendency to hold grudges for you, for
For
the stuff that
you.
they've never happened to you and they holding grudges.
Mm-hmm.
And so you
Yeah,
just have to be like, you have to work through it. You have to really find ways to work through it and be like, it's okay without that apology
Woo!
that I've been waiting on
Yeah,
for 20
Lord.
years.
Work through it.
That's
That's
good.
good.
That's good. We dropping gems, y'all. We are dropping gems. You put me in the mindset of one of the gems that we've discussed in our women's ministry call, and that's this. I can't remember what gem it is, y'all, but y'all who if you know, you know, if you know, you know. But that is stop expecting the person who hurt you to heal you.
Mm,
Woo!
that right
Oh
there.
yes.
Right.
My God, I think that was just a few weeks back, a couple of weeks ago that we talked about that on our Friday night calls. Is we got to stop expecting the person who hurt us to heal us.
Hmm.
All a part of that emotional maturity, all a part of that. That trauma, taking responsibility. Okay, Miss Shanita, same thing. The statement. What is the statement? Your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility.
Ooh, well, I'm gonna say most of my trauma, I gotta say, it was my young adult, like those early 20s, because like my parents, they worked really hard. I was in a beautiful glass house. It was so rose tinted. I mean, my dad came up in Jim Crow, so you can only imagine. We're from Alabama, the middle of, so you can only imagine. My dad came up in Jim Crow. My mom came up, a different way as well. But we were upper middle class when I came along. They worked really hard for a certain point. So when I was in their home, like I'm telling you, I had up to date everything. Was going to the magnet schools, going to London. Who goes out of the country at 14? But it was
Yeah.
opportunities. It was opportunities due to what they were exposing me to, the sacrifices they were making. But it didn't look like sacrifices. We lived well. We would be down to one car, and I just thought it was just their choice. They just wanted to ride together. That's how that's how it would seem to me. Oh, they just want to ride together. We love each other. So I gotta admit that my young life was like, it was amazing, and it may be some things that happened, but it overrode whatever happened. It wasn't anything traumatic. But when I came into my adulthood, when I moved away from my family, because my family, I'm talking about, you got the ghetto cousins, the suburban cousins, they have your back where you at. But when I moved away, I was abused, teeth knocked out, miscarriages, getting injured, then losing my contract with the dance company, being a waitress in a booth, trying to get substantial jobs, appearing with no teeth, trying to get a restraining order because these laws, hopefully they're better now, but it took forever to get a restraining order, just different things like that. And keep in mind, while all this is going on, my mother died. And I found out about that over the phone because, I didn't want to talk to them until I was successful. So my mom's been in the hospital unconscious all this time. But I didn't want to talk because I got to be super successful. I need my teeth in my mouth and all of this, but I should have been talking. So it was like a boulder. All that was going on. My mom had passed. I had to learn how to walk again. But guess what? Shanita don't have insurance, so she got to Google her some exercises. I had to learn how to walk again because I tore my Achilles tendon. So I'm Googling up, and I didn't have a computer because I had 2-3 jobs just to pay rent. Because it's expensive to live in Texas. Alabama, I was $600 for rent. Girl, I had about 2 bedrooms, a bath and a half. So, it was just very traumatic. But I was determined. I was really determined. I was like this small town girl. I was really determined. So that trauma really affected my psyche, but it was like, you got to push because of the tenacity that I saw with my father and my mom, even my grandmom, the things that they've gone through. I was like, you got to push. So to be honest, my responsibility for my healing was honestly to build my relationship with God, to really develop my personal relationship. And it was really important. Like my family believed in God, but the way I do now is on a whole nother level. I would see my grandma praying over the kitchen table over some bills. And I ain't know if she would talk to herself. I wasn't comprehending it right. I mean, I would see my dad read the Bible in the morning, things like that. My mom, like every time I came home, it would be a Bible in my bed. It made me realize she been praying for me because she knows Shanita down here doing some things that probably is not kosher that I won't disclose, but we've all been in our 20s. So, So, my responsibility, one day I was on the train because, I couldn't maintain my car. And this lady gave me a book called Purpose Driven Life by, y'all have heard of it, right?
Yeah.
When I started reading that book, it just sparked something in me. I was like, I need to start my own personal relationship. Now, keep in mind, I was going to church at the time, but I go that Sunday after I done left the after hour spot, because I done left the after hour spot, but I still came to church after I left the after hour spot. I still came. So I wanted some change. I did. But once it really clicked into my healing was just that personal relationship that I continue to build. Like I've honestly been kind of upset with myself because I feel like I need to increase some more of my devotion time. It's like it gives me a peace because I'm telling you, working with kids, these kids, Mamas, I mean, y'all know
Yeah.
these kids. So
Mhm.
I just think that my healing was just the personal relationship, um, my personal relationship with God, and it's like I'm able to just disclose so much with my family, and the relationships I'm building is just like a bond like no other. They're like, so I want to say my trauma hit like a boulder in those 20s. And then as I developed that relationship with Christ, I was like, God, you really do love me. I made it through a lot. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I made it
yeah,
through a lot. So yeah,
yes. That's good.
that was loaded. I'm sorry.
That's
That's
no,
good.
that's good. That's
That was
good.
good.
That's good. That's
That was
good.
good.
And thank you, Mother Demison just chimed in on YouTube and said that Jim was Jim number 187, talking about your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is yours. Or not that. Stop expecting the person who hurts you to heal you. That was Jim number 187. But Texana, glad you joined back with us. Sorry that you dropped off. I know your connectivity is off and on, but same question. What do you think? What are your thoughts to the following statement? Your trauma is not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. And how differently do you deal with trauma? Uh-oh, we can barely hear you. Your sound. Okay, we're gonna. Okay, yeah, we can't really hear your microphone is really low. But we'll go to Jura and we'll circle back around to you, Texana.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
there you go. We got you now.
you can hear me?
We can hear
Yeah.
you.
Okay, perfect. Hold on, let me take this off.
Okay, yeah,
You can hear me?
you're healing, you're
Okay. So, sorry, just mic
mhm.
check.
No, you're good, you're
Okay.
good.
I
Your
okay,
trauma may not be your
right.
fault,
There's
but
a
your
couple
healing
parts
is
to
your
this. There's a
responsibility.
couple parts to trauma for me, y'all.
Hmm.
Growing up, someone mentioned like sweeping under the rug, sweeping under the rug. There was no rug. It was more like anything regarding like trauma or mental health or anything like in that under that umbrella was like just demonic, and it didn't exist in our household or like in our like family unit. And so
Yeah,
it was like you just didn't talk about it, and so you just
yeah,
learn to like smother these things, like just push them so deep and down, and then if anyone around you is talking about it, it's like, whoa, you need the Lord, which we really do. But fast forward, and then I have these okay, honey, I have these like life experiences, and I've you get diagnosed with like anxiety or PTSD, and you serve and you do all these different things, and my initial response was like, that's demonic. Like, you're trying to speak things over my life that aren't true. And it's been this journey for me accepting that the two are not mutually exclusive. And these are actually parts of your life that you can invite God into.
Yes.
But you
got it.
can't do
Yes.
that
That's it.
if you aren't, I guess, I guess we could call it denial. I don't know. But, and
It's like
so
taboo in the household at that yeah.
yes. And so I'm like, well, actually, if you acknowledge these things, call them out, seek prayer. And then not just, I think for me too, with it being my responsibility is, I mean, you don't always have to open up. Things come in time, but you don't have to walk through these things alone.
That's
Community.
good.
I was like, community is a
Yeah,
blessing and it's a
It
gift. It
is.
literally is
It
a
is a
gift.
gift.
Just like the Holy Spirit is a gift where he gives me these nudges like, hey, you're falling back into that again. You're falling back into that again. So community. And so I think that when we talk about it being a part of your responsibility, it's like seeking it out and seeking out, calling out, seeking it out, like whatever that trauma might be, or even if you think that it is, and then seeking help. So for me, that looks like a lot of you ladies have talked about therapy. It for me, it's calling Tielow and saying, "Hey, I'm in this like mess right now in my mind. Like, let me just talk it out, because again, talking about it was not a thing growing up at all. And even with my family right now, I love them, but I don't think that I can call certain like people that are close to me that are like blood and talk about these things. My dad will still say, oh, that's just your mind being weak, you're just
That's
weak in the
good.
mind. But actually, it
See?
makes us stronger when we address these things head on.
When you
That's my
address
Oh
it,
opinion.
yeah. Oh
exactly.
definitely.
That's the
Yes.
healing, addressing. The
Yes.
healing is
Yes,
addressing.
when you attack
Yeah,
these things head on, and it doesn't
yeah,
mean
yeah.
that you won't be cut by them. I think that's scripture when we talk about um like weapons that might be formed against us, but they won't
But they won't
prosper. It never
prosper.
said that it wouldn't cut you. Never said that it wouldn't cut you. It just said that you won't, that it won't win. It won't prosper. And so, hello, that's us. The trauma.
Hello.
We got a couple bruises. We got a couple scrapes.
Yeah.
But now we're gonna look at those bruises. Where did they come from? How did we get here? And it's not always your fault, of course. Some things are though.
But we
I'm
have,
preaching
we're
to myself.
responsible.
Accountability.
Right.
Look at you on your
Yes.
accountability. Come on,
Some
girl.
Come
things
on.
are
Come
once
on.
once you learn the lesson and you allow it. Okay, baby, I will. And so, yeah, so where it's not your fault, but it
Good.
is your responsibility. It absolutely is your responsibility, because if not you, then who else? And even if it's just between you and the Lord, it's just like, but it is your responsibility to address it,
Yeah.
and to work on it, and to use those
And heal.
tools.
And heal.
Yeah, and so hopefully that answered the question. I think there was
I
something
love
else
it.
that I
That
wanted to say
is.
about
That's
it,
it.
but I'll put it in the chat. I had another point, but I'll put that in the chat.
Go for it. Go for it. All right, Yura. What is your thoughts on the statement? Your trauma is not your fault. However, but your healing is your responsibility.
I think
You
in
holding
this
on?
situation, I think I relate to Cam in this area because so I grew up with my great grandmother and my granny and my aunt, and for the longest time, a really long time, I always wondered why my mom didn't raise my brothers and I. Like, did you not want us? Did you not love us? Like, what was
Yeah.
that about? you
Yeah.
know, and I always, was trying to build this relationship, and it was like it wasn't working. So then I was like, I try again, still wasn't working. Then I'm gonna try again, still wasn't working. So then one day I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. If she wants this relationship, she has to reach out to me, and that's just where I was.
That's good.
And I, and that's why I had to leave it because I realized I was trying to force something on someone that probably didn't want that, and I had to be okay with that.
Okay. That's good.
And again, I'm so grateful for my auntie. I love her to pieces because I don't know where I would be or who I would be if it wasn't for her. Because again, she stepped into that role of a mom slash auntie for me and my brothers. And so, but then it also caused me to question if I wanted kids or not, as to
Mm,
why I'm 34 with no kids, because I didn't want to put off what was on me onto my kids because of how I felt.
that's good. That's good.
But
That's
then I
good.
also realized that I'm also okay with being a cool auntie too, because I can send them kids back home. Okay.
Cool, aunties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Listen,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
listen. I love all my babies. All of them. All 12 and how many years I got. I love them to pieces.
Send them
And I can
back, right?
send them right on back to the house. Okay.
Yes, Lord. That's
But then
good.
I also realized that there might not be the destination that God wants me to be.
Okay.
He might not want me to be a mom, and that's okay.
Man,
I'm still okay with being a cool auntie too.
that's okay.
But
I'm
then
an
it
auntie
also
too. I'm right there with you, girl. I'm an
okay,
auntie.
girl.
I'm an auntie.
But
And
then
we
but
fly
it's
too.
also
And we fly.
yes, girl. But then I also realized that it allows me to grow in other areas of my life
Yeah.
as well.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm okay with that.
Healing, dealing with our trauma,
Healing.
dealing
Yes.
with our trauma in a healthy way, right?
Hmm.
And
Yes.
allowing ourselves to heal, and not just holding on to those past hurts. I love it. I love it, y'all. Man, I think we are able to just pour out so much. I think we're helping ourselves as well. We're helping each other. We're helping others just becoming self accountability, responsibility, and accountability. I learned some years back. There was this lawyer that I used to that we have, and we were going through a situation with something. And he told me and my husband, we were there, we were talking to a lawyer about a situation. And he was like, sometimes you're expecting people to do something, and you have to take a look at yourself. And two things you have to realize with people: there's an R monster and there's an A monster, and
Yeah.
both of those will make you run if you're not equipped and ready. And that's accountability and responsibility.
Mm,
Accountability and responsibility will make you go left when you should go right.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And those two
Yeah.
monsters is what keep people
Yeah.
from growing, from being the best version of themselves that they can be, is responsibility and accountability, because we want to blame it on others and what Uncle Junior did and what Auntie so and so did and what Mama did and what Daddy did and what my neighbor did and what my church member did and what my friend did, instead of saying, now how do I heal myself through this, right?
Yourself.
I love
That's
it.
right. Good.
Oh
That's
gosh,
good.
oh gosh, we dropping gems. I'm telling you,
That's
I'm
good. That's good.
ladies. Two more questions, ladies, and we're gonna wrap this up. As you are becoming, what do you find yourself embracing more of, and what do you find yourself pushing away, releasing, and staying away from? Cambry, as you're becoming, what do you find yourself embracing more, and what do you find yourself pushing away and releasing and staying away from as you're
Okay.
becoming?
Um, so what I'm embracing is, like I said at the beginning, is being okay with the things that God has already given me. Um, I appreciate the fact that I'm different from most people.
Okay,
I don't enjoy a lot of the same things other people enjoy, and I'm okay with that.
that's good.
I'm not really a
Embrace it.
social person, like I have my friends and people I enjoy being around, but I don't feel the need to be everywhere all the time. And
Okay,
I'm okay with that. And I feel like that's when God talks to me. That's when I get really creative. So he downloads all these things in my spirit at that time. One thing, that's what I'm embracing. And what was the other question? What am I
what are you releasing, pushing
releasing?
away, and staying away from?
The things that one thing that I am releasing is the fear of failure.
Wow, that's a great one.
Um,
That
Ooh,
is good.
That's a
oh,
being
great one.
a
Wow.
perfect person,
Yeah.
oh,
doing things the way other people, or just following other people's expectations or what they
Yeah.
think I should do. That's what I'm releasing. Because I
jeez.
can't be or become what God wants me to if I'm holding on to things or other people's expectations of me, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Same question, Kiki. What are you embracing more, and what are you releasing through your journey of becoming?
I'm embracing getting older. I'm
Yeah.
embracing that I have a lot to offer as far
Okay.
as just
Woo.
my background, what I've done,
Good.
and I'm like, for the people that want to hear it, for the youngsters that want to hear it. I mean, I've been through a lot, as we all have, but you can pay me to be 20 again. You know how some people are like, oh, I wish I could go back. I don't want to ever go back because all those things that I've been through, all the bruises that I got, all the clean
We,
scrapes and all of that
yeah,
stuff got me to where I am today. You couldn't pay me to go back. So I'm embracing my age, definitely. Getting older, getting wiser, and getting wiser does not always mean that you're not going through trials and tribulations. Definitely not. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have more that you've handled and more that you've done and try
yeah,
and mountains that you've climbed over.
that's
But
good. That's good.
and the next one, what am I releasing?
Yeah,
What am I
letting
getting rid
go
of?
of. Yeah, letting go of, releasing, pushing away.
Oh, definitely. Like it goes to the first, the my very first statement. I have to get rid of, you know, the people that are the, I don't want to be old school, like the haters, but the people that have no good for you. And I've been a people pleaser in my past, so I've
Come
kind
on.
of those people
Yes.
stay
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stay on the wagon with me. But I can definitely gladly just push off my wagon and pray for you. But you got to get off my wagon now. But before I would
That
just
was
let them stay on. I would let them
good.
stay on and just keep talking. Keep talking trash. I can't do this. Kiki, you can't do that. Da, 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 da. And I would
Say
just let them
you.
hang on. I can pluck them off. So I'm getting rid of that. Whatever those people are called. I don't know if you want to call them haters, naysayers, people that don't believe in you, but they
All
gone.
of the
They got
above.
have no problem.
That's good. Shanita, same question. What are you embracing more of as you're becoming, and what are you pushing away, releasing, and staying away from as you're becoming?
I I am actually embracing exercising the gifts that God has given me. I will say, because I keep making statements about how the kids can be a challenge, but it really feeds my soul in so many ways. It feeds my soul in so many ways. Like, I'm telling you, kids find the good
Okay.
in everybody. Why can't we do that? Kids don't hold
Mm,
grudges. Why can't we, like, so just exercising, my mom always wanted me to be a
Your
school teacher,
gifts.
but I was like, I'm an artist. I'm a performing artist. And that's how I felt about it. And I was like, baby, you can't be 40 and you can't be 50 trying to kick this leg over here like this. And I was like, yes, I can. Yes, I can. No, let's exercise some other things. So I'm more of like an action-based teacher. Like,
Yeah.
believe it or not, girl, we be spelling words and everything with movement. We be doing math problems with movement and actions. So just exercising the gifts that I kept running away from teaching. I
Okay.
kept running away from teaching.
Okay.
So just embracing and exercising those gifts that he's given me. What I'm releasing and pushing away is judgment of myself. Another reason I was so married to dance is because I don't think I'm pretty, but when I dance, everybody stares at me.
Mm,
Does that make sense? Like when I dance, everybody stares at me. When I dance, it's like I'm the one in the room that everybody sees. It's like also a lot of the times I feel like people are smarter than me, more intellect, just different things. And it's like, but Shanita, you're you, and you don't know who sees you and are like, wow, you did that. Wow, you completely. Wait a minute, you was waitressing tables with a boot. Wait a minute, And I was like, yeah, that's me. I do that. Like some people can't even believe I was working jobs with no teeth, but I got to pay rent. So what I'm saying is, notice non-judgment of me. Like I judged myself so much that I didn't notice the improvement. If that
releasing.
makes sense.
Yeah, judging yourself.
oh
Yeah.
I
wow.
judged myself so much that I didn't
Yeah.
notice the improvement. I just
Yeah.
always
Mm,
just didn't think I was good enough,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know. So
Good.
that's what I've been releasing, and since I've been 40, it feels good.
Okay.
It took
Okay.
me a while. It took me a while, but
Okay. Okay. All right. Texana, for you, same question.
Huh.
As you're becoming, what do you find yourself embracing more? And what do you find yourself pushing and releasing and staying away from?
Shanita, I wanted to say that I think that it's going towards imposter syndrome, and I deal with that too. Like my therapist told me that. She threw
Imposter
out that
syndrome.
word, and like
Imposter
just more,
syndrome.
yeah, just even like more recently, and I'm still struggling with it. I promoted in the military, and I went from being like the doers, the kind of like the planner, and but because I stayed,
Wow.
essentially, I stayed in the same room. So it was just like overnight, you go from being here to being here, and now everyone's looking at you. And I felt like you do not
Yeah,
deserve to be here. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
what are you
Imposter
doing?
syndrome.
Take
yeah,
this
Woo.
right off of your chest. And
yeah.
it's like mental. But I could go on a tangent about that. But I just want to say you are not alone in that. And so every single accomplishment, even though you worked really hard, everything that you just described, it did not come to you easy. No one handed you anything. And then you still feel like, I don't deserve to be here, or somebody else worked harder than me, or they're smarter than me, or they're prettier than me, or just whatever that might be. But no, you did that thing, girl, and that's why you're there. And I'm preaching to myself too with that. So
Preach.
Yeah, that's good.
okay,
Good.
sorry. The question. Sorry, Tyler. Tell me
Yeah,
again.
the
What am I supposed to
same
do?
question.
Okay.
As you are becoming, what have you what are you
What
embracing
am I
more?
embracing? Yes. Okay. I am embracing the simple things in life right now, y'all. Joy, peace. I never knew how much peace, how valuable
And you
No,
have to
peace
protect that thing. You have
is.
to protect.
Oh my gosh. Peace. And that's for myself and for my daughter, because I didn't know that I would square up with somebody in the middle of the street until I had her. But I'm like, you're not about to bring this drama into my daughter's life. Period. Like, what do you mean?
oh my
You're the
And
auntie
so
that do
God is still
that.
working on me with that. But I mean, seriously, I can tell y'all some stories, over my kiddo. But so yeah, peace for me, my peace, but then also her peace, because I feel like if mama is not okay, then a lot of times the kiddos are affected with
okay.
that as well.
Yeah,
And so I really am
That's true.
embracing that. And so then a big part of peace is not just allowing other people, no matter what
take
position they hold
Woo!
in your life, they cannot take it. It does not matter. I love you, but you are not taking this, or my joy, or
That's
things
right.
like
You can't
that.
take my
So
peace.
yeah, and so
Amen.
I'm embracing that, because
Say that.
I grew up in a let's just say non-peaceful environment, very chaotic. And so I know it sounds so crazy to say, but peace is not the norm for me. So peace is my chaos, where not that I went seeking, maybe I did seek out craziness. I don't know. But when things start to kind of just settle down, and it's just like it's just calm, and then all of a sudden it's just, I mean, all hell breaks loose. But the
Good.
hell breaking loose is the norm for me. And so that's
Okay.
why I say that I really am embracing it, especially Evergreen is 5 now, especially so like the past 5 years. I'm just like, okay, we don't want all of that. And that's in every aspect of my life. It's in ministry, in relationships, and at work. I'm like, don't bring that over here. I gotta
Don't
exit
bring
stage
it.
left, or
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know. Pick
Mm,
one.
yeah.
mm.
And
Okay, and what
then,
are you releasing
and
um
then,
in your
okay.
become, what are you releasing and pushing away?
And oh man, I should be releasing more, but a lot of self doubt. So,
Self-doubt.
um, Miss Shanita was talking about, she was just talking about it. And I was like,
Judgment.
yes, judgment, but yeah, of yourself, right? Judging myself, trying to just really give myself more grace. And so just releasing the judgment, embracing the grace, embracing the peace and the joy. That's what I would say. Because it's like, it's mine. It's like, the joy is mine, the peace is mine. And
Yeah.
everything else that's like the opposite of it, it's like, bye, goodbye. So harder,
Deuce.
easier said than done, but it's totally
I
worth
love it.
it.
I love it. All right, Yura. What are you embracing more, and what are you releasing and staying away from as you are becoming?
Right now, I am embracing where I am right now in life. That is
Being
health,
present.
yes, health, family, job, church, all of that, because it's helping me to become a better version of myself.
Mm, that's good. That's good. Okay,
I
and what
like
are
that.
you releasing and pushing away, staying away from?
Guilt and fear.
Oh,
You
that's
know,
good.
feeling guilty of,
Okay.
letting people
Mm.
go, telling people no,
Huh?
like Kim said, staying away from certain things, certain people, fear of, like she said, being a failure, not good enough, because that's not where I am right now. So it's time for me to let that go.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. I'm
That's
gonna
good.
share. Gosh, two things actually. I saw someone in the chat that said this. One of the first thing you have to do in the process of becoming is to unbecome the previous version of yourself.
Oh, that's
Godly,
good.
do y'all
Unbecome.
hear how powerful that statement is? You have to
Oh
unbecome the
yeah.
previous version of yourself. And then I'll say this a lot. We as women, I'll say we always talking about how much we have to push and fight and go and that's correct. But we also have to remember this to be sovereign, to be at rest. The same amount of force that we use to fight with and to push, we always pushing and pushing and pushing. We have to remember that just on the same side, and just as important, how to be at rest and how to release and how to be at peace. Because I think we're so hard on ourselves and
Yeah.
society and just
Yeah.
being, I'm a woman, I got to fight for everything. No, you don't, baby.
Mhm.
Rest in it. We driving
Rest.
so, and you know, I'm an advocate because I'm a boy mom. We driving men
You are.
crazy. We driving men so crazy because we think we got to fight and push for and it's not learn. Can I say that? We got to learn how to baste in it, rest in it,
Rest.
release it,
That's good.
and be at peace. And I think I don't know who said it. And remember that you have other people. Use our community. Use your husbands, your spouses, your sons, your community. And we don't always have to be so much in a tensed up, ready to go. I gotta look. Oh, you know, I think we have to remember that we get so hashtag priority number one. I gotta all my life I have to fight.
Right.
Right. That's
And we
learned.
That's good.
Passed
Right.
down.
Right.
We don't
Right.
do yourself, your community, your family, your friends of faith, and take a step back and just be in position and receive, glean, you know. You remember the Bible with Ruth and all that,
Glean.
just glean and be at peace and release. I mean, so much things happen when we not so much on the offense or on the defense rather, and trying to fight and push so hard. If we can just learn to take that soft side approach, you know, we were created that way. God said he took a little bit special time to make and mold us.
Yeah.
So engage that rest and release intensity and be at peace. Then the other side of it, I want to take us share with you is for my own embracing and releasing. I had to years ago. I had to do this for myself and release the need to dim my light so that I don't affect somebody. So I don't overshadow. I had to. Can I just be honest with y'all for a moment? I was so busy for almost all my life. I could remember up until a certain point, I was downplaying myself. I was dimming my own light so that people would be comfortable around me.
So people,
and it got to the point was like, nope, I'm gonna put you right here. And you're gonna walk in it. And you're gonna walk in it, period. Yes.
Or you don't have a choice, right?
Where you don't have a choice. So I encourage everyone who's on this line and listening to us and the ones here that stop dimming your light, stop downplaying yourself, and be everything that you know you can be. Release it, embrace who you are. Stop worrying about if you're offending someone else, because I'm not a jealous hearted person. Be the best version of yourself. I've told my siblings this all my life, people that I'm close to, and anyone that have a listening ear. Be the best version of yourself, because it's not going to offend me, because I'm okay with who I am. Because now that I've been at this level for some years, I'm not going to dim my light so that you can shine bright. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I know how to celebrate you. And that's what we have to do. Last question, ladies. And then we're going to wrap it up. We thank everybody for being on the line this long with us. But the last question, a quick statement on what would you tell the generation before you and after you? Something that you would want to tell them that you were never told, or that you want to share so that they can be uplifted. Your kids, your grandparents, that seasoned saint. So what would you tell the generation to come and the generation behind you? And I'm gonna start it out with saying, for the generation behind, or that's behind or in front of me, that has already done, the seasoned saints, I would tell them, unity. Let's do this together. It's no
Mhm.
big I's and little U's. I need you and you need me, right?
Yeah.
And instead of a world of we're trying to push the old ones out and the young ones don't know nothing, we got to do this together. Iron sharpens iron. That's what I would tell the generation in front of me. And the generation behind me, I would tell them, don't give up. Don't give up. Keep pushing. Keep pushing and don't give up. You are your wildest imagination. You just got to put action to it.
Wow.
Cambry,
Hmm. What I would say, the generation ahead of me.
for you and ahead of you and behind you.
Um, I would say give yourself grace because you are walking um, at the pace you need to be.
That's good.
Give yourself grace and it'll be okay.
That's good.
What I would tell the generation after me is listen to your mama because you don't know everything. I'm telling you, I would, that would
Yeah.
be the advice I would want.
Yes,
You don't
Lord.
know everything. I'm telling you,
You don't.
I'm checking off a list. Before my grandmother passed, now I'm going on a little rant, but before my grandmother passed, I would kind of be like, Mama, you remember that time you told me da 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 da? Well, let me tell you what,
So on
you
so
know, let me just tell you what happened today. And we will laugh about it. So I've still got my little list going. And I'm like, yeah, that's what Mama said. She was right.
that's what Mama said. Okay,
Yeah.
Kiana, I
Yes.
love it. Yeah, listen to your mama. Okay, what would you tell as we prepare to wrap this up? What would you tell the generation ahead of you and the generation behind you? Oh, she didn't come. We'll let her back in. All right, Miss Shanita. Oh, she
Okay.
lost connectivity. Okay, Miss Shanita, what would you tell the generation before you and behind you?
Um, the generation before me, I would actually, I agree with Cambry. Give yourself grace. Love yourself. Give yourself grace. Love yourself. You are worth everything you're going through, and it's building you up
Yeah,
to be where you need to be. Give yourself grace. Love yourself. Um,
yeah.
the generation behind me, I would actually say it sounds very cliche-ish, but it's very true.
Okay.
Everything that glitters ain't gold, literally. Everybody want these
Literally.
immediate. Everybody want to be like the Joneses. Got to have this Instagram, and knowing good and well,
Hmm.
it's not like that.
It ain't
Everything
really
that
like that
glitters
for real.
is. Let me tell you, Instagram and sometimes fake. That's the hot reel. You know what I'm saying? That
Yes,
is the hot
Lord. That's
reel of
good.
life.
That's good.
Like that's the hot reel.
That's good.
Everything that glitters, and the thing is, you can glitter in the dark, man. Like you really do. You really can. Diamonds shine in the dark, I promise.
Hmm.
And the best ones come in
Yeah,
the dark, So yeah, everything that glitters is
that's
not
good.
gold.
Texana, what would you want to tell the generation before you and the generation after you?
Okay. For the generation before me, I would say take care of yourself.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like self-care, whatever that looks like, take care of yourself. Um, because then you look back and you're like, well, I wish I would have, or I mean, we're all going to have that regardless, but at least with my elders, I realized that there was a lot where it's like they're constantly pouring into other people, and that's not bad, but you have to pour into yourself.
To
How do we pour into
yourself.
yourself?
Yeah, that's
Imagine how
good.
much more
That's
influence you
good.
could have if you also took care of yourself. And
That's
then for younger, someone already said, give yourself grace. So, but that I think I'm just gonna piggyback off of that because that is my advice to myself. Give yourself grace, and yeah, just give yourself grace. Like give yourself grace. The same grace, God talks a lot about grace. He talks about His grace being sufficient.
Come on.
Whew. So yeah, just give yourself grace.
Amen.
Yeah.
All right, Yura, what would you
Ooh,
want to tell the people before you, your generation before you, and the generation after you?
the generation before me, I want to tell them thank you. Thank you for the wisdom, the advice, the examples, all of that, because it helps us now.
Yeah, yeah.
The
That's
generation behind me, it is okay to be different.
Yeah. Oh,
Not
that's
That's
good.
everybody's going to like you. Not everyone is going to care for you, and that's okay because
And it's
God
okay to
used,
stand for what you
yes,
believe. It's okay.
God used imperfect people to tell his story, to get his point across to other people and to reach out. So it's okay to be different.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I thought we had okay. I think you guys keep Kiana in your prayer. She's in Florida and they're going through it. She was doing this in
Oh
the midst
yeah.
of the hurricane and the storm there. So she's coming in from all the way from Florida. But she just texted me and told me the storm knocked out it's knocking out her power. So that is why
No.
off and on. So please keep them in your prayers. Please also continue to keep Houston in your prayers. They went through that storm as well. But I thank you, ladies. Oh my God, this has been an
Thank
amazing
you.
conversation
I
on
enjoyed
becoming.
Great.
mine.
I feel
Oh
like we could
goodness.
keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Okay.
too.
it's
Keep
so
going.
amazing. Oh, I mean, I got so many. We're gonna do another one. You guys stay tuned. Start writing things down. I encourage you. Like we said before in the
Thank you
beginning,
for
if you want
asking
to
us.
also be on the podcast host or be a part of another conversation, please reach out to Touching You talkshow at gmail.com, and we'll most definitely get a schedule. We're going to have another one of these discussions, and we're going to have more to come with other panel members and special guests. But this has been Touching You Talk Show. We thank you all for most definitely tuning in. We thank you for most definitely being transparent, for being open, and just sharing your stories with everybody. Cambry, Yura, Texana, Shanita, Kiana, I thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until next time, this has been the Touching You Talk Show, hosted by yours truly, Lady T. We'll catch you guys next time. You guys take care and good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Good
Good
night.
night.